Hey you, what up? Welcome to my channel. It's the beginning of February, which means it's time for my roundup video of the month, Faves X Fails for January, in which I talk about and try on all of my favorite products for the month and also talk about the fails. As always, I come prepared with notes. I'm gonna give you prices. I'm gonna show you why it's my fave, why it works for me, and also talk about the products that failed me this month. So if you are here for this, then keep on watching. Remember to subscribe and let's get to it. Faves X Fails, January, let's hit it. So I did something a little bit different this time around for my Faves X Fails. I actually started jotting them down at the beginning of the month, at the beginning of January. And now that it's February, I've already started my chart for February. And so here it is. So this month I've literally been collecting my faves and fails. And guess what? There are so many fails, almost an equal amount to the faves. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because I'm taking better notes. Maybe it's because I'm actually thinking about it. And the moment that I think about it, I jot it down. I don't know. Or maybe it's just that kind of a month in makeup. In the primer category, I've tried several primers this month. You guys remember these two, the One Size and the REFY. I'm still gonna call it REFY because it reads REFY, but REFY. Neither one of those are my favorite or my failed for the month. I feel like I still need to give them a couple more tries, but I do have my basket of goodies right here in front of me, and in it I have a favorite primer for the month, and it is actually from Elizabeth Arden. This one, the Flawless Start Hydrating Serum Primer. So this one's pricey, it's $43, and it does have those little caviar looking particles that you have to pop that are filled with hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is something that my very oily skin loves, and I guess for me, this is something that works as a primer or as a skin base. So there's something different about this one. Although it applies like a serum, definitely more like skincare than makeup, and it has a glassy finish, but what I like about it is that it actually sets. So it doesn't feel tacky, it doesn't feel grippy, it doesn't feel sticky or tacky. Some people like those types of primers, and it looks like these two other ones are those types of primers, sticky and tacky and grippy. This one's not that kind of primer. And for me and for my oily skin, I prefer my primer to set to smooth. I don't want it to be grippy. I just feel like the grippiness of a primer sometimes enhances my skin imperfections and it makes my skin look worse. But this one is just so lovely. It has like just the slightest bit of tackiness, but no more than any other serum. And honestly, I could probably just add a couple of drops of concealer on top of my skin and it would be a great coverage for every day, even with the breakouts, even with the spots. So this is a fave this month. Now, let's talk about some fails. So this next product that I've categorized in my fails this month is not necessarily a primer, but it's definitely a glow booster type of product. I am sadly talking about the JLo Beauty That Star Filter. Literally, it is called the Complexion Booster, and it has this metallic finish. There's like a couple of shades to this. I have it like in a bronze and a deeper bronze. And this looks good in theory, right? It looks very pigmented. It looks like it's gonna give you that super bronzy, highlighted effect to your skin. The problem with this is that I actually don't know who it's made for. This is so extremely patchy. This product, as pigmented as it is impossible to blend out on normal skin. If you have any sort of dry patches, even if they're minuscule, if you have any sort of pores, which is all of us, we all have pores, if you have breakouts, if you have fine lines, this settles into those fine lines or pores or clings on to your dry patches. Even if you have any peach fuzz around like your jawline, around your cheek area, it will make you look like you have sideburns. This is crazy. I don't know who this is made for. This looked so bad on me. It was impossible to blend out and to make it look normal. I actually had to remove my makeup completely and start from scratch. That's how bad it was. Moreover, it is $39, so it is not cheap by any means. Like I said, it is very, very pigmented. I was thinking maybe I could use this on the legs, but then again, it's probably gonna give me strawberry legs because I actually shave my legs. I don't laser or wax, so it's gonna cling to those little hair roots or follicles, you know? Maybe perhaps I could use this on my chest or on my shoulders, but still, it is very, very limiting. I don't know what's going on with this. It is not good. It is a fail with a capital F. But on a positive note, This CoverGirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence Foundation is incredible. The more I use it, the more I like it, okay? And this is the type of product that I would typically not go for because it is very serum-y. It is a skincare to makeup hybrid, so those are very finicky for my type of skin, but this has been incredible for me. Like I said, the more I wear it, I feel like I get a better hang of how to use it, and I just enjoy it so much. So the shade that I'm using is medium. They do suggest that you're supposed to apply this to the back of your hand or in between your fingers and break up the little particles or the little micro droplets. I don't like that method. I feel like I'd rather blend it out on my face just because my hands are very, very sensitive. I told you guys my fingertips are very sensitive to many different things. Also the back of my hand, I have a skin condition on the back of my hand, so it's just not for me. I'd rather just do this on my forehead or something like that. So I'm gonna add just a couple of drops to each section of my face. And I did just go to a CoverGirl event for this particular product. I have a little brush that I got with my initials on it, MM for Maryam Maquillage. And just look. And I know they're comparing it to that Chanel water foundation, which is $70. But I think the point that CoverGirl was trying to make is that you will not find this at the drugstore. Moreover, you will not find this type of product for $21.50. This is unique. This type of technology really only exists at a $70 price point. So whether it's a dupe to the Chanel water cream or whatever other product that people have been mentioning, doesn't really matter to me. What matters is that I like this one. This one works for me and for my skin type. It looks beautiful. It makes my skin look super fresh. It feels extremely weightless. The price is right. I definitely hope they come out with more shades because right now there are 8. But because it's so light coverage, I guess the shades are stretchy and a lot of people can get away with wearing 1 of the 8. So this one very, very sheer layer applied over my hyaluronic acid hydrating serum is like the perfect combo. If I didn't have my dark spots or my breakouts, my skin would look perfect. This would be enough for me. I would feel so comfortable. This doesn't feel sticky. Actually, it feels like I've got nothing on my face, which is incredible. Moreover, you can layer this, and the best part is that it comes with 0.5% bakuchi oil. Apparently I was saying it right. And this is a plant-derived alternative to retinol. So it's supposed to plump the skin, it's supposed to make it look more vibrant, more youthful, just more fresh, and I think it does that. This is a keeper for me. And as an oily girl, I guess I'm shocked because I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I do. I don't know if they sell this brush, but this brush is actually perfect for this foundation. It breaks up the micro droplets very easily, very quickly, and the dual fibers just do a really great job of making it look seamless. Kind of like airbrushed, but not even, because it just doesn't even look like I'm wearing anything at all. It just gives you that layer of perfection. And for me, this is something that I want. This is something that I need for my skin. Just a little bit of a filter, you know? So I'm extremely happy with this product. I'm gonna continue using it. It's just the one for me. I really, really like it. All right, should we talk about some more products, some more foundations? Let's, shall we? So this KOSAS BB Burst Tinted Gel Cream. I did try this out on my TikTok and also on my YouTube Shorts. This was very promising. I really like the idea of a gel cream. The problem is, I just don't think I am the skin type for this. So this is not necessarily a fail, like a universal fail. It's just a fail for me and for my oily skin. This was far too luminous for me. This did not look great at the end of a wear test that wasn't even very long, granted. I think I gave it like a 3-hour wear test on my shorts and it just did not look great. It maximized my pores. It looked wet on the skin. It just looked like I was sweating. It looked like I was very shiny, but not in a good way. However, I think if you are a mature skin type or if you are a drier skin type, if you have normal to dry skin, your skin will probably really like this. The shade that fits me is shade 24, which is a medium warm, and it does offer some pretty good coverage. I would say more than the CoverGirl Essence, but the luminosity is just a pinch too much for me. I would really need to turn it down a lot in order for it to not look greasy. I will say, however, that I absolutely love the KOSAS concealers. I've liked them for a long time. They are also very, very creamy and very hydrating, but they work for my under eye because my under eye doesn't really produce any oils. There's no oil glands there, and so I like it. There's new shades. I've been using them. I'm a fan. Speaking of concealers, I have another product that I have a love-hate relationship with, and it is the FENTY We're Even concealer. This product is $30. There's many shades. This is supposed to be the better version of Fenty's original concealer. This is good to wear all over the face. So I would compare this to the Lancome Tint All Over Concealer in the sense that you could wear it anywhere. However, it just doesn't wear very well under your eyes. For the under eye, I find it to be way too heavy, way too makeup-y looking, and also the pigment kind of fades by the end of the day, so you end up seeing your darkness seeping through. So I feel like that's not really a vibe for 30 bucks, you know? On the other hand, I think this offers really good coverage for spots, especially if you have some dark spots as opposed to acne spots. So I've been using it for that, and I really like it for that because you can sheer out the formula and it ends up looking very, very natural. So again, all over concealer, anywhere and everywhere but the under eye for me personally. Not exactly a fail, but not a fave. I prefer the KOSAS. However, I found a little workaround. Did I really grab the wrong shade? Did I really grab the wrong shade? No, I didn't. Oh, thank God. If I wear the Huda Beauty Peach Corrector under my eyes and then I apply a very minimal amount of this concealer, it actually works. So I'm gonna do that because I recently discovered that Peach is a better color corrector for me than the Cherry Blossom or even the Pink Pomelo, which was the shade that I was originally using. So I guess I am gonna add just a tiny amount of that, like a dot to the inner and a dot to the outer under eye. I'm gonna quickly buff that out. You see, and now it looks actually kind of nice. So with this method, by the time the concealer wears off, by the end of the day, you'll still have the color corrector working for you, and it's not that big of an issue. So I'm gonna use the 265W for a couple of spots that I have on my face. Here, here, this guy here. And this way it works great. So like I said, a love-hate relationship with this one. Not exactly a fave, not a fail. So am I gonna keep it? Yeah. Am I gonna continue using it? Yeah, probably. But then again, will I? Because I continuously reach for my Tarte Shape Tape, which I will never stop using. So if I have something better, why would I reach for something that's worse, that needs helpers? You know what I mean? These are questions that keep me up at night. Let's move on to some blushes. I feel like blushes are so trending right now. They're everywhere. Everyone's wearing them. And I just realized I forgot to blend out the concealer on the side of the face. Huh, how cute. So there's a number of blushes that I've been loving this month. Number one is the SAIE new colors. We have Sweetie, we have Cutie, and we have Baby. This is really nice. It kind of reminds me of a lip gloss at first. It does have this big giant wand, but the consistency is very reminiscent of like a pigmented gloss. But this feels a little bit more like gel on the skin, and it blends out beautifully. It wears really well. I really like it. I really love the new shades. Another favorite blush, you know, I feel like this basket is not the best idea because it is just so hard to grab things from this basket. Another favorite blush for the month is the new PIXI On The Glow blush, the pH Tinted Moisture Stick. This one is really, really cute. It's supposed to adapt to your pH levels. It is that deodorant packaging that's been so popular, viral on TikTok. And this particular shade of blush is really, really cute. You see it? It is just so, so dainty. You can apply this to your bare skin. You can apply this with a brush because as is, it does remove some of your foundation, but that's not the preferred method of application for this product. I'm just doing it this way because I'm very lazy. And I almost don't mind if it removes a little bit of my foundation, especially in the freckle area because that area has pretty healthy skin. So on me today, this blush is a baby pink color, but the other day it was a much more of a strawberry, or I guess like a raspberry color. Today it is a lot more subtle, but I do like it because it's cute. Similarly, I really like the PIXI Superglow On The Glow highlighter sticks. These are the 4 new shades, and my favorite one, of course, is the shade here, Natural Luster. And also I really like Gilded Gold, so I like both of those. I'm gonna use one of them. I'm gonna apply it properly this time with a brush, the way that I'm supposed to. You see that? This gives that perfect pearlescence, that little bit of glassiness to the skin. It's a really nice formula, really great to use underneath the blush in case you want a little bit of that jaw highlight. Could even use it on the forehead. But the formula is really forgiving. It's not so balmy, it's more of a jelly finish. It melts really nicely with your makeup, with everything else. And so I'm a fan. These are great. And let's see, they're $18 each. I feel like that's fair, especially for the amount of product that you get. Still going. Boom. There's a giant popsicle, okay? Speaking of popsicles, and speaking of edible things, I think you know what I'm getting at. These new Cooling Jelly Tint blushes from Milk Makeup have almost broken the internet. Not as much as the Pat McGrath Margiela makeup, but these came pretty darn close. I have seen everyone do this including myself, and to show you how staining they are. And they are indeed very, very staining, and the stain or the tint lasts. What's cool about them is that they're just really fun. They look very, very edible. They look delicious, in fact. Just don't try them because they absolutely taste like chemical. But you know what? While I'm at it, I'm just gonna go for it. I feel like these you can also apply straight from the tube, but you gotta blend them out very, very quickly because like I said, the staining power is real, it is strong, but the product itself is so fun. It's so cute. It's actually a fave for me this month. So these are $24. I believe they are launching any day now. They will probably sell out very quickly, but they are fun. There's 4 shades altogether, with the one exception of them being very, very messy and looking kind of similar. I will say that the shades are distinct and you can definitely tell the difference once it's applied onto the skin. So for me, it's a cute product and I like it. Speaking of Milk makeup, however, not every Milk makeup product I like. Not even close, in fact. This is one of their best launches in my opinion, but to me, I don't know what it is. I am just not a fan of their regular blush sticks and their regular highlighters. They just do not work for me. So I will say I kind of do like the bronzer sticks and I am going to use that. I think this drier formulation kind of works as a bronzer or as a contour, especially for those of us who don't like a heavy contour or bronze. But this formulation is just not great for a highlighter and it's not great for a blush. Moreover, the blush is a little bit different. It is also not very pigmented, just like the bronzer, but the problem with the blushes is that they are very balmy. So to me, that consistency of very little pigment and very balmy finish is just not my preference, so I do not enjoy those. However, I see them all over TikTok. Everyone uses them. I think it's just because their PR teams are working overtime and sending the products to everyone. Plus, there's really not a lot of product for $24. Not in the bronzer, not in the blush. And you know what? The component itself is very cheap. It breaks. I'm just not a huge fan. Look at this. Now it's like not coming out. Wait, I think I got it. It's a little finicky is what I'm saying. I don't hate it, but I just am not in love with it. The bronzers or the Sculpt stick, I'm using shade Simmer, are my favorite from the bunch. Wait, this one is actually extremely pigmented. Have I never used this one before? I'm confused. This is actually very pigmented. What? Hold on a minute. I mean, that's just what I'm saying. The consistency is very inconsistent. Like this particular shade Simmer looks very pigmented and not as dry as another shade that I tried. So I just find them to be a little bit unreliable, I guess. They do blend out. They blend out fine. But this is nowhere near as beautiful and intuitive as my LYS bronzer stick, which is not a new product, but kind of like an all-time fave. In the loose powder category, I've actually been loving the new Huda Beauty Peach Pie Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. I'm really here for the peachy under eye. I think it is really fresh. It is an alternative to pink, but I think it's a little bit more color correcting, so I am a fan. This powder is $38, like all the other Huda Beauty Easy Bake and Snatch powders, and I have been liking it a lot. I think this was a good move. Not just for Huda's brand, but just for the direction of makeup and makeup trends. I really like this one. But specifically, I like it for the under eye. I obviously wouldn't use a peach powder all over. Maybe I would use it in the cheeks. But when it comes to pressed powder, this month I discovered the CoverGirl Clean Invisible powder. And this is in the shade 125 Buff Beige. This is a really, really, really great powder. Probably my favorite for the month because it is just so reliable. I'm gonna use a big old brush, this one from Laura Mercier. What I like about this powder is that it has enough pigment, but not too much pigment. And also it has a really good setting power and staying power. And it's been working really well with the Essence foundation for me. I would recommend this. And I'm not sure how much it is, but I'm sure it's no more than like $10 to $12. Buff Beige is probably not my best shade, but I feel like I can get away with using it. Speaking of pressed powder, you already know I'm not a huge fan of the Huda Beauty Easy Bake and Snatch. I don't like it in any of the other shades, and I don't really like it in any of the new shades like the Cherry Blossom. I just find this powder to be a little bit too much for my skin type. It looks too heavy, it looks too makeup-y, it makes my skin look crepey, it enhances imperfections. It's just not for me. But if you love it, then you will probably like this new shade. It's great for the under eye or for baking, for snatching, for all of those things. For me, it is not a vibe. And it never was, so that's not really news. In the brow category, this brow gel from REFY is probably the best brow gel I've tried. I can't say that it's the best brow gel of all time for me personally, because my brows are very, very coarse and I need the strongest possible hold. But this is good enough for like an everyday hold, meaning I won't be able to glue my brows to my skin the way that I typically do, but they will absolutely hold their shape. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep this one or if I'm gonna give it to my sister. It's a good product for most people, but if you have very coarse, thicker brows, then it will probably not be enough for you, just like it's not enough for me. But the cute little brush inside the cap is a nice addition, I will say. $24, not like a fave with a capital F, a fave with a small f. Out of all the products that I tried, I guess I'll put it in that category. You know what I'm trying to say. I have a couple more products in the powder highlighter and also in the powder blush category that I want to mention. Number one is this highlighter from the Beauty Bybel. It is in the shade Bybel and it has been on repeat since I got this. This is such a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous highlighter. The consistency that I like for my highlighters to be like, it just gives the ultimate glaze to your skin. And I know I already have the PIXI highlighter underneath, so this will probably be even more popping, but just look at that glow. The formula is also that slurry formulation, so it's not exactly a powder, it's something between a powder and a gel, and it is incredible. My favorite shade, shade Bybel, and just the best consistency. You can build this up if you want to, it blends out really, really easily. I'm such a fan, and this is how much? Only $19. Definitely recommended by me. Complexion is looking good, and I promised you one more favorite blush. This one, a very pricey one from Valentino Beauty. This is their Eye to Cheek in shade 3. This is just the most magnificent shade of dusty, rosy pink, but it's not too dusty. It's more on the rosy side, because I'm not a huge fan of dusty rose, but this slightly lavenderish tint to this blush is just so fresh. It is just so beautiful. I love it. I'm really, really impressed with this shade. I'm gonna show you on camera how pretty it is. I mean, you definitely see that. And it adds that burst. Also, this formula is really nice. I don't know about you guys, but I'm still a powder blush kind of gal. Just works better for me and for my skin type and for my skin tone. I don't know. It's just easier to use in my opinion. And this one is incredible. Shade 3 is $52, but you could also use it on the eyes if you want to. Not that you would want to, but you can. Packaging is really cute. I gotta say, big fave, capital F. And now I'm ready to talk about eyeshadow. Really, there's only one palette that I liked in the eyeshadow category, but there's also one product that I really loved from the drugstore, from the brand Physicians Formula, and it is the Eye Booster Eye Lifter Shadow. So on one side, you have this crayon, literally like a little bronzer stick that is supposed to contour your eye socket or create a wing or whatever shape you want. And then on the other side, there's this pale pink cream eyeshadow, which is so dainty and so the right shade of pink, you know? I've been loving this little duo. It's been fun. I used it in my Mob Wives makeup tutorial on YouTube Shorts, and also I believe I posted it on IG. And I gotta say, this product is so easy and such a simple but genius little product. Great for every day, great for simple makeup, or if you want something a little bit more enhanced and smoky. It's just beautiful. The consistency is very, very creamy, very easy to blend, practically mistake-proof. So if you're someone who loves easy makeup, especially quick on-the-go products, this is a good one. It's a really, really good one. And now for the pop of pink. Really nice, not fancy, but just simple and effective, and only $12.50. I'm a fan. And now in the eyeshadow palette category, there was really only one eyeshadow palette that I like, and it is the NARS Afterglow Irresistible Eyeshadow Palette. This one reminded me of 2016 makeup with all the warm brown tones and the shimmery shades, all the gold and bronzy, taupey, creamy colors. This is a mood of the golden days of makeup, and I guess also social media. So I guess I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna dip my finger into this slightly golden, slightly rosy shade, and I'm gonna just add that to the top of that pinky base. That's really pretty. And then I'm gonna dip into the shimmery shade. It's kind of a lot. I'm gonna add that to the center lid for a pop, blend that out. Easy. Definitely a fave for the month. $60 as NARS palettes typically are, but it's a good one. And if you love that color story, the eyeshadows are really creamy, really easy to use, so you will love this one. On the flip side, I did not love the Colourpop Valentine's Day palette. It just seemed a little too red for me. The colors were not distinct enough. I got rid of that one quickly. It was only $18, but I put it in a giveaway pile for someone who might like a bunch of red eyeshadows, which to me personally are not very flattering unless you have very, very light eyes. eyes, or unless you really like avant-garde makeup, but I don't know, to me it just wasn't flattering for me and for my taste preference. So a fail for me, but not a universal fail again. Speaking of Colourpop, I really love their new Multichrome BFF liners. These were really great quality. I've seen these before from other brands, but these are $9. So of course it's gonna be a fave for me this month. The colors are so stunning. There's 6 shades altogether, I believe. I think I'm gonna go for the pink one because it also shifts green. But yeah, just a great easy glide formula. Generally, I'm a fan of Colourpop BFF liners, but these multi-chromes are just on another level. It's so fun. It makes your look appear more complicated than it is, but it's really easy to use, really easy to wing out. So I'm gonna do a pretty heavy wing here, just so we can see how it shifts. I also actually like the dippy liners from the Colourpop Twilight collection. Specifically, I like the shimmery maroon color, which is called Vampire. But today I'm gonna use the black. Okay, I have 4 more faves and 3 more fails. I'm telling you, this was a crazy month for fails. I've never had an equal amount of fails and faves in a video. I guess it's that kind of month. So let's move on to lashes. My favorite mascara this month, I actually have 2, and they are the Flower Beauty Dream Warrior. This is great. This is 12 bucks. Makes the lashes look so glamorous. And I also really like the Essence Lash Princess Curl and Volume Mascara. This is great because it actually curls your lashes for you in a very natural and believable way. So it doesn't leave that crimp that lash curlers typically do. In fact, this works in a completely different way. It just kind of curves your lash upwards. And I really enjoyed that effect. Although at first I thought this mascara was a little bit too thin for my liking. Once I saw the effect, I said I could deal with the thinness. And by thin, I mean you just need a couple of layers of this product in order for it to look dramatic. But check out that curl. It is such a natural looking curl, because look how my lash looks normally. Not so curled. I also like the fact that it curls some of the smaller lashes. And for me, the smaller lashes are actually growing on the top of my lash line as opposed to on the bottom. And seeing those curl up actually makes my lashes look a little bit fuller at the bottom. Almost like my lashes are layered. So it's kind of cool. I like this effect and I like this mascara a lot. A fave. 6 bucks. I'm gonna use the Flower Beauty on the other side. This one does not curl, but it does separate the lashes really nicely. Just a slightly different effect, but I like both. Much as I love Essence mascaras and the Lash Princess line, sadly, I did not like this Lash Princess Mascara Primer. The problem is that this primer is green. And yes, it does work in enhancing your lashes, but it is an added step and you do have to wait for this product to dry. But the worst part is that this green is almost like impossible to fully cover. It almost always seeps through, no matter how hard you try, no matter how meticulous you are about covering every single corner of your lash. It is almost impossible to cover it because you literally have to go in between the lashes and kind of like tube your hair strands, you know? So to me, this was too finicky. It was an extra step that was just too much. I mean, it is cheap at $5 and it does kind of enhance the lashes, but I also found that mascara application on top of this product was a little bit more difficult. Like it made the lashes a little bit too gritty and a little bit too textured for my preference. And so then once you do get the hang of it, it's just really difficult to remove. So too much for me, a fail for me. I actually have another failed mascara and I actually have another product in the lash category that I did not love. It's a fail and it's from Valentino Beauty. This is a very pricey mascara at $32. This is absolutely unreliable. It smudges like crazy. It makes you look like you don't know how to do your makeup. This was terrible. This was trash. And for $32, I'm mad, okay? Granted, I think this is a sample size, but I feel like I rest my case. And I don't need to talk about it any further. My favorite lip gloss for the month, it's actually a collection of glosses, and it is the new shades of the Polite Society Big Mouth Lip Plumping Oil Glosses. These are the new shades. This is the original. This original is probably my new favorite lip plumper after the Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme. And it makes sense because it is from the founders of Too Faced, who also founded Polite Society. Jared and Jeremy is who I'm talking about. This is something that they excel at. I feel like their lip plumpers are on another level. They work like crazy. They sting so good. And I'm just a huge fan. But the shade that I really like is the shade called Sweet Talker. And it is a really pretty shade of like a cooler, pinkier nude. It almost has a hint of lavender undertone. And I think it's so flattering and so pretty. I love how pigmented it is. And it starts stinging not immediately, in a couple of minutes or so, but it definitely works and it is absolutely one of my faves. Love the colors, love this product. I want more shades. That's all I can say. $27, not super inexpensive, but so good. Speaking of Too Faced, guys, I'm just gonna say it for what it is. These Kissing Jelly lip glosses are not all that they are hyped up to be. These are just regular glosses. They are not oils. They are very goopy and gloppy at that. And I think it's all just hype. I've tried it. I don't really care for it. Yes, they taste like they smell, but I've seen that before. It's not that interesting. Anyway, these are $22. There's some cute shades in here. I'm looking for the green, but I can't seem to find it. Some shimmery shades. Yes, there's some shimmer, but you've seen these before. But the way that people are talking about them is, I guess, what's making me put this in the fail category. This is not anything innovative. This is not like a holy grail product. This is not by any means revolutionary. It's just like a cute throwback to the 2000s kind of lip gloss, and that's it. And why am I so angry? I'm not angry. I'm just getting to the last product because this video is very long. My final fave for the month are these new lipsticks from Mario. They actually came out at the very end of 2023, but I couldn't include them in a roundup because I didn't get a chance to try them. But I've been wearing them all month and I have to say they are incredible. There are several shades that I really love. The shade Bronx Baby is Mario's fave and it is a lot of people's fave. And I've since found a way to wear it. At first when I tried it on its own, it looked a little bit too close to my skin tone, but not in a good way, in a way that it washed me out. So I just know that I have to wear it with a darker lip liner. I have to feather that in, and this is kind of my pop. But there are tons of shades in here that I really love. I love the shade Dumbo. This one is actually my perfect nude. It's just a little bit darker and a little bit more warm. I also love all the deeper shades like Forest Hills. This is incredible. So sultry, so pretty. Shade Soho is another one that I've been wearing a lot, and it is the perfect peachy nude. It looks really flattering on me, but not on everyone. So this is a shade that I think you have to try on at first to see if it works for you and your coloring. But overall, I really like these. I'm keeping them all together as I do with all of Mario's products. I'm generally a huge fan of all of his lip products. They have been just great for me so far. I love all of his lipsticks, the matte lipsticks, the glosses, everything in the lip category from Mario has been mwah, incredible. Chef's kiss. Are we still saying that? I'm gonna, because that's what it feels like to me. Big fave with a capital F. All right, you guys, that is a wrap on my faves X fails for the month. That is a lot of products. This is a lot of talking. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Zooming out, inviting you to check out more videos, and saying goodbye. Farewell. Deuces. See you in the next one.